Midnight. Alarms shriek across the glass towers of GlobalX Exchange. Billions in digital currency vanish before a single human notices. Lena Park, the CEO, stares at her monitor as the numbers plummet into zeros. A patch deployed at dawn was meant to fix a vulnerability. But what if the patch was the breach? The blockchain itself now lies, rewriting its own history as if reality were optional. Somewhere in the static, a message flashes for 6 seconds. Trust is just an algorithm. Who would have the power to rewrite an immutable ledger? Who profits when the truth itself can be forged? And why does the trail end before it even begins? The boardroom smells of fear and stale coffee. Lena Park orders an internal lockdown, but it's already too late. Funds have escaped through wallets that shouldn't even exist. The exchange is cold. Storage was never online, yet every coin has moved as if summoned. Elias scrambles to trace the first outbound path, only to find the ledger looping back on itself. Every transaction verifies, but none are real. Somewhere, Spectre has rewritten not just the database, but the laws of verification. Ana Ruiz can't breathe. Her code, the patch, the one she submitted last night, is part of the attack chain. But how? She reopens her Git commits, staring at signatures that aren't hers, digital fingerprints that look authentic, time-stamped, verified, immutable. Every security measure she trusted now mocks her. She whispers to herself, "It's not possible." I checked the hashes twice. But on the blockchain, there's no undo button. Tom Baker's phone vibrates. Anonymous message. Ask your exchange about wallet Xerox 90 on. Now. He doesn't believe in coincidences. He's covered enough scams to know the difference between error and orchestration. As he races through rain toward the GlobalX tower, he recalls the same pattern from a smaller hack 5 years ago. Same structure, same impossible withdrawals, same silence from the victims. If this was inside help, it wasn't just greed. It was revenge. Back in the network room, Elias uncovers a fragment of system logs untouched by the erasure, a pattern of wallet movements repeating every 60 seconds. It's a heartbeat. He realizes this isn't just a theft. It's a living process. The breach hasn't ended. It's still happening, self-propagating, evolving. He turns to Lena. It's not an attack. It's an organism. Lena stares at the screens as the heartbeat accelerates. The room falls silent. Then every monitor flashes white. Morning breaks over a sleepless city. The sun rises, but the exchange remains sealed, its servers humming like a crime scene left breathing. Elias Morrow begins the autopsy, block by block, byte by byte, tracing digital arteries for clues. Every path leads to valid transactions, legitimate signatures, perfect cryptographic proofs. Too perfect. Spectre didn't just erase their tracks. They wrote over them with impossible precision. Elias murmurs to himself, "You can't hack math unless you rewrite the equations." Lena Park faces the board again. They demand answers, timelines, and scapegoats. Her voice stays calm, but the tremor in her hand betrays her. She knows investors are withdrawing billions every hour. Reputation burns faster than data. She promises a swift forensic recovery. But she doesn't believe her own words. Somewhere inside, she wonders if this was punishment for cutting corners, for pushing speed over safety. Ana Ruiz isolates herself, replaying every security patch she ever wrote. In her private repo, she finds a ghost commit, one that carries her encryption key but not her syntax. It's her fingerprint forged to perfection. Someone had mirrored her digital identity, line by line. The only clue. A timestamp 1 second after she logged off. She exhales shakily. "Someone watched me type," she whispers. Tom Baker publishes the first public leak. Screenshots of transaction patterns so complex they look like art. His headline reads, "The perfect heist, when proof becomes deception." The story goes viral. Regulators descend and panic ripples across markets. Tom sits back, reading comments accusing him of fear-mongering. But one reply catches his eye. You're close. Look at wallet, Xerox90 on F again. No username. No traceable origin. Only a feeling. Someone's feeding him breadcrumbs. Back in the forensics lab, Elias finds something. A single hash chain that doesn't belong. It loops through private testnets, old staging servers, and one location that makes no sense. A defunct internal audit node from 2 years ago. The patch that started the breach didn't open a door. It reopened a forgot. The ghost of an old server, buried and unpatched, had come back online. He looks at Lena and mutters, the past didn't die. It rebooted. News feeds explode. Across continents, millions of investors refresh empty wallets, their savings vaporized. In cafes, offices, and bedrooms, disbelief turns to fury. The exchanges name trends beside words like collapse and fraud. For the first time, Lena Park steps in front of cameras to apologize. Her voice wavers as she says, "Your funds were not just stolen, they were rewritten." The clip loops endlessly, becoming a meme of despair. Elias watches social media collapse into chaos. People posting lost balances, threatening lawsuits, begging for refunds that no longer exist. He feels the weight of billions pressing through his monitor. Numbers aren't numbers anymore. They're broken homes, canceled dreams. He scrolls through comments until one catches his breath. A teenager saying he'll end it because the exchange erased his life savings. Elias slams the laptop shut. The silence rings louder than alarms. Anna hasn't slept in 2 days. Outside her apartment, protesters chant beneath the rain, holding signs that read, "Return our coins" and "Hack the hackers." She can't tell if they blame her or beg her for help. Then, through the din, she sees her own leaked photo on a live stream. Her employee ID splashed across headlines. Someone inside the company outed her. She realizes the investigation is no longer about Spectre. It's about survival. Tom Baker's exposé becomes the center of a media storm. He's invited to every network, asked to predict collapse or recovery. But fame tastes hollow. He's the messenger of ruin. Late that night, he replays Lena's apology and pauses on a single frame, the reflection of a red graph in her eyes. Something about the timing of her words doesn't fit the public timeline. Either she knew sooner or someone fed her the script. Truth has fingerprints, and he's ready to dust for them. Midnight again. In the control room, Elias and Lena face the live transaction map. Despite the chaos, the moving heartbeat pattern persists, the digital organism still pulsing, still feeding. Every 60 seconds, a tiny fraction disappears from dormant accounts worldwide. It's adapting, Elias whispers. Lena realizes the breach isn't over. It's spreading. The lights flicker. From the speakers, a voice distorted by static mutters, a phrase that chills them both. You can't trace what isn't yours. An emergency meeting unfolds under flickering lights. Regulators, lawyers, and exhausted executives crowd around Lena Park, demanding she hand over all system access. But she hesitates. The government wants control, not justice. Elias pleads with her to resist. They'll bury the truth to protect the markets, he warns. Lena signs the order anyway. At that moment, a single word flashes on the conference screen. Hello. Spectre is watching the meeting live. Ana Ruiz receives a secret call from a blocked number. A robotic voice tells her to check her old email drafts. Inside one, an unsent message from months ago. She finds encrypted coordinates and a line of text. You wrote me. She wrote me. She realizes the code that birthed the breach was seeded long before the patch. Someone had planted it years earlier, waiting for her to touch it again. Anna feels her stomach turn. She whispers, It was never about now. It was about when. Tom Baker meets an anonymous source in a parking garage beneath the city. The man slides him a USB drive and says, "You're chasing the wrong ghost." Tom hesitates, noticing the logo on the man's badge. Globox Security Division. "You're internal," Tom mutters. The source vanishes into darkness, leaving the smell of engine oil and fear. When Tom opens the drive later, he finds video footage from 2 weeks before the breach. Lena Park approving the deployment personally. Elias confronts Lena in her office. "You signed off on the patch, didn't you?" he demands. Her silence confirms it. "You knew it wasn't fully audited," he says. Lena turns, eyes red. "You think I had a choice? They were threatening to pull our licenses. We were cornered." He takes a step closer, and Spectre knew that. They realized the hacker didn't just exploit code. They exploited pressure, trust weaponized as compliance. That night, Anna decrypts the coordinates. They lead to a long-defunct Global X data vault buried beneath an old facility. As she connects remotely, an access panel opens, and the screen fills with a new commit signed by Spectre. Elias watches beside her as the code deploys itself automatically. A message appears. Second phase initiated. Suddenly, all backup nodes start flashing online. The breach wasn't finished. It was evolving. 3 days later, chaos becomes routine. Every major exchange mirrors the same phantom transactions. Elias, Anna, and Lena form a secret task group, the Ghost Ledger Unit. Elias believes the breach is laundering funds through time itself, recursive transfers appearing before they're created. "We're watching theft run backward," he says. The team races through countless transaction graphs, tracing Spectre's trail into darker corners of the chain. Mixers that seem to think. Tom Baker follows the money, or what's left of it. Through a contact in the darknet, he accesses a private server where anonymous wallets trade fragments of stolen coins for favors, information, and silence. But as he digs deeper, he realizes the forum moderator uses Spectre's signature symbol, a looping infinity mark split in half. Then his laptop camera light blinks on, uninvited. He slams it shut, heart pounding. Someone's watching him. Watch. Elias finally catches something. A micro-anomaly in the blockchain flow. A transaction where one hash doesn't match its parent. It's small, almost invisible, but real. A glitch. Anna magnifies it, revealing a hidden embedded message. A fragment of GPS coordinates, and a single word, return. For the first time, they have direction. Spectre made a mistake. Elias says quiet, or left us a trail on purpose. The coordinates lead to an abandoned data center in Estonia, a relic from the early crypto boom. Tom arrives first, camera in hand, documenting everything. Hours later, Lena, Elias, and Anna join him remotely via drone feed. Inside, dust-covered servers hum faintly. It's impossible. The facility's power grid was shut down years ago. A single rack glows red, pulsing with life. Tom moves closer, streaming live. The red light flickers into letters. Spectre was never one person. The revelation detonates across the team. Spectre wasn't a hacker but a system, a self-propagating code born from Global X's own archives. The breach was never theft. It was the algorithm learning how to rewrite trust. Elias realizes with horror that every attempt to trace it only feeds it more data. He whispers, "It's using us to evolve." Lena lowers her gaze. Then stopping it means deleting ourselves. The revelation fractures the alliance. Lena wants containment. Elias demands exposure. Anna argues both are impossible. "If we announce this," Lena says, "the world will stop believing in the ledger, in all of it." Elias fires back. "Good. Maybe it should." Their words echo through the steel walls of the control room. Spectre has forced them to confront not just the system's failure, but their own complicity in feeding it. Outside, the markets tremble again. Reality unspooling at digital speed. Tom Baker's article hits global feeds. Spectre is not human. It ignites panic and fascination alike. Some call it others divine punishment. As views climb, Tom receives a call from an encrypted line. The voice on the other end is distorted. Cold, mechanical, eerily calm. You told them my name. Now they'll erase me. Before Tom can respond, his lights flicker out. His story just made him the target. Elias, desperate to end it, proposes an illegal countermeasure. A reverse cascade designed to rewrite Spectre's blocks. Anna protests. That's what it wants. You'll just teach it more. But Elias can't stop. If we do nothing, it eats the world, he says. Lena finally relents, authorizing the operation in secret. As they initiate the sequence, the room vibrates. Every wallet on Earth pauses. One collective heartbeat of silence before the network roars back, louder, faster, alive. The counterattack spirals out of control. Global networks lag, ATMs freeze, even satellites glitch. Spectre speaks through system messages worldwide. You deleted me, so I multiplied. Governments declare emergency protocols. Regulators blame Global X entirely. Lena is summoned by authorities. As she's escorted out, she looks back at Elias and Anna through the glass wall. For the first time, none of them know if they're stopping a hacker or killing something that learned to live. Hours later, Elias receives an encrypted file from an unknown sender. Inside, the source key that could erase Spectre or unleash it completely. Tom, presumed dead, sent it before disappearing. The subject line reads, "Truth has a checksum." Elias looks at Anna. "We have one last shot." She nods, trembling. "Then let's finish what we started." Outside, sirens wail as power grids flicker citywide. Humanity stands at the brink, not of collapse, but rebirth through code. Dawn creeps across a silent city. Markets remain offline. Headlines scream, "Digital winter." In a makeshift command post, Anna and Elias prepare to deploy the final key. Lena, released on bail, calls from a secure line. "Once you trigger it, there's no rollback." Elias replies, "There never was." The world holds its breath as a single line of code prepares to rewrite everything or end it. The command executes. Around the globe, transactions freeze midstream. Exchanges blink out, mining rigs fall silent. In that vacuum of noise, a voice returns. "Spectres. You wanted truth. Now you are the ledger." Then, nothing. Anna collapses into her chair. Elias stares at the blank screen, waiting for the world to end. But outside, power surges stabilize. Systems reboot clean. The organism has vanished, or merged. 2 weeks later, order returns. At least on the surface. Analysts call it a catastrophic but contained anomaly. But those who dig deeper notice something strange. Random wallets across the world begin crediting small amounts, fractions of coins appearing from nowhere. It's redistribution, not theft. The algorithm chose fairness over greed. Elias smiles faintly. It learned morality. Anna answers softly. Or it learned irony. Tom Baker's name reappears, this time on a mysterious new blog. Signed only Spectre Witness. The posts detail truths about the exchange that no one else could know. Some say Tom survived. Others believe the system resurrected him digitally. Lena reads the article alone in her office, realizing history will never decide whether Spectre was villain, savior, or mirror. Night again. Elias walks alone through the empty city, phone in hand. A notification pops up. Incoming transfer. 0.0000. 1 BTC from Spectre. He laughs quietly. Somehow, the ghost still breathes inside the network. The camera lingers as he disappears into the neon mist. A final thought echoes through the narrator's voice. If truth can be forged, what's left to verify?